I don't know about all that, but I will concede that Gavin Newsom's leadership in California has been a complete and utter disaster. As a Californian, I 100% have experienced he's out to lunch, right? Like, he changes his ideology depending on what he thinks is fresh and what's hip at any given moment. 76% of Californians voted in favor of something known as Prop 36, which is to roll back some of the soft on crime policies. That requires funding. He has been pushing back against adequately funding the efforts to essentially roll back those policies to ensure that people
you're for his more pro-crime strategy. You're for the more pro-crime fighting strategy. Just to be clear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's important. So you think it's important to have the investments in fighting crime. Okay. Because
100%. Yes.
Because a big challenge amongst some of the left has been not supporting that in the past. So you're saying he's not.
They're wrong.
He's not doing enough to fight
I think
crime.
the left wanted prison reform. The left wanted better police training. The left wanted real reforms where people aren't getting shot as they're running away from cops and unarmed. What we got instead is the premature closure of 4 prisons. Gavin Newsom is preparing to shut down the 5th state prison. As a result, the county prisons are full to the brim of inmates, basically. And then what they do is they end up releasing people early because they don't have room for them. So Gavin Newsom, and that's just one of the issues I have with Gavin Newsom. Another issue is $24 billion in California taxpayer money gone. It was supposed to help the homeless. It didn't help the homeless. It got funneled to all these nonprofits that squandered that money.
They don't have any faith in Gavin Newsom.
Oh. Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he...
Yes, it is amazing how much leftists discuss is just them pretending not to understand things, thus making discourse impossible. I was impressed at a certain point when I watched Anna, calling out Gavin Newsom. There is something more concerning. Gavin Newsom is crying everywhere on social media simply because Joe Rogan is refusing to allow him on his podcast. When you take a look at this, Gavin Newsom slammed Joe Rogan for refusing to host him, calling him the Facebook of podcasting and questioning his confidence. He doesn't have big enough confidence to have me on. Rogan doesn't own him airtime. The ego here is unreal. This is not the first time Gavin Newsom is doing this. Joe Rogan said the other day he can't allow him because he lied a lot.
They don't have any faith in Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he wants to be president so bad.
That's true what it looks
but
like.
You can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice.
I know.
Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it. Fix it all.
I mean, it's so crazy, but he's such a great politician. I mean,
no,
he's so smooth.
He's
not,
not,
you don't think so?
No, I think he's terrible.
How's he remained in power for so long?
Low competition. There's no one who's good is competing against him. There's no sincerity.
I should say he's not a good. I should say he's smooth. He comes.
I mean, he's a good bullshit artist.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it's like what the things that he says when he gets confronted with things. We're the highest this and the highest that. Like, everybody's leaving.
Yeah.
You have the highest unemployment.
Yeah.
You have the highest homelessness.
Look what they did with Hollywood.
Money's missing. Like Hollywood doesn't exist anymore. It's literally gone.
That was such
60s world. You got the Supreme Court talking about getting rid of the Voting Rights Act, and that's very real.
Yeah.
That may likely happen in just a matter of months. I mean, they're rewriting history, censoring historical facts. It's a unbelievable moment. All this anti-woke stuff is just anti-black. Period, full stop. All the CRT, ESG, DEI stuff, that's all this is. It's this great purge, and it's happening in real time, and I'm sitting here, and I feel like, luckily I'm governor, but like, we're not doing enough. Right. We're not calling this out. We're not drawing a line here. And again, it's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about who we are, man. Yeah, right and goddamn wrong. Daylight and darkness.
Yes. Have you noticed that Gavin Newsom is now putting on the black accent simply because he wants to appeal to this group? He's running for president, we all know. Days ago, he hinted that. When you take a look at what Joe Rogan said on this video, you can clearly see that is the truth. The guy is desperate. I don't know. For days now, this is what Gavin Newsom is doing every day. Imagine going on CNN, crying about Joe Rogan. how he can't even accept you to be on his podcast.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Bro. Are you talking about me?
Yo, YG.
YG,
But
man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms
Entertaining
fall
yourself.
off. That's it, whole thing. So just, and then, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else. And started, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man. And then he's bringing his friends, and you're captain of the team, and you're like, geez, and it just saved me, and it got me into college.
Okay, Gavin Newsom isn't poor. Like, yes, he had a single mother, but his father's a well-known attorney who worked for Gordon Getty, the billionaire Gettys. So he can sit on the All That Smoke podcast and talk to 2 black men and riff about Wonder Bread and mac and cheese. But that is not a man who grew up with any kind of struggle. And if you want to be a serious candidate in 2028, I need you to stop going to black spaces and giving some kind of pseudo struggle story. Okay, it's giving hot sauce in my bag. Like, okay, you grew up rich. Just don't be embarrassed about it. If anything, you should say, I've seen the wealth disparity. I've been blessed to be on the other end of it. And I want to make sure that everyday Americans get access to some kind of life where they're not struggling and worrying about their monthlies, their utilities, their daycare. It's just not that hard to be authentic and care about people. Less performance, less hot sauce in my bag, and more just talking to people like regular people. Please. Please.
Yes, what I see on social media, people are putting out about Gavin Newsom for years now. I don't know if this man can win a general election. Very impossible. The Democrat knows that. The other day, Kamala came out like, oh, I'm thinking to run. I'm not done. It didn't even make up to 3 days. Gavin Newsom went on an interview, hinted the same thing. That should tell you a lot about these people. Then there is one pertinent thing that these people still don't get. Gavin Newsom is not able to put California in a good state. Will he be able to put a country? That is a question that passes through my mind every single time when I see of these. It's crazy, right? It's pathetic that Democrat will actually advocate for this. I have seen him with Obama recently. They even had a podcast. Maybe Obama is actually pushing him to do this.
He wanted, look, he hasn't, for years and years, he's been attacking me, and it's one way, and he won't have me on. He's consistently not having me on. By the way, I'm moving on. I have no interest. You're done with him? Joe Rogan's the Facebook of podcasting. He was sitting across one of the brightest minds in podcasting right now. The guy was in the mic. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people at the mic doing extraordinary things in podcasting.
Joe Rogan's got a pretty big audience still, though.
You know what? But with all due respect, if he has a big audience but he doesn't have big enough confidence, I didn't go there, to have me on.
Well, you've called him a chicken.
He's been attacking but here's the thing. These guys, they all have something in common. It's one way. They attack, they belittle, they demean, they take things out of context. But this is a serious thing.
Yeah.
And so often we just sit back and go, oh, God, I really would love to go on. Oh, if Kamala Harris just went on Joe Rogan, she would have won. It's not. It's so much deeper than that. And the unwillingness for a guy like that to even have the common courtesy to attack someone and not have the decency to say, you know what, why don't you have a chance to come on? Let's have a civil dialogue. I've watched you on podcasts with like Sean Ryan, who's a close buddy of his. He had the courtesy on me have 4 hours.
Right.
Sean Hannity, folks like that. And so if I can go on Sean Ryan and Sean Hannity, what are you worried about? Joe, you're going to cook me, or I'm going to cook myself.
I believe you've seen what Gavin Newsom is struggling to do here. He's struggling to appeal to a lot of people. He can't actually walk because this saw Trump going to Joe Rogan. He thinks that that is the same thing he would do. Can't walk. Joe Rogan said no, it will never happen. He's desperate. He wants to be president. I believe you heard Joe Rogan. So Newsom sitting here saying this is crazy. It's just to stir up Joe Rogan emotions, or like Joe Rogan to feel like he's weak. Just asking question to Gavin Newsom, he will roast himself. That was what Joe Rogan said 2 weeks ago. Thank you guys. I don't want to make the video long. I'm going to end here. Please share all the videos. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the YT algorithm.
I wish you all the best. Our current president, Donald Joseph.
You know, I'm waiting on a reporter, and maybe
like I'm just
Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us.
It's
like
history.
Wait, when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, he even gets an on.
If the Democrats
because how many times do somebody asks
for
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American
give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
happening at the moment.
Yeah.
President Obama.
He's blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech.
A right to have a television show.
All the same people that are in these polite.
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
Hey, Crystal, you say stemware. Crystal.
Mike, I just want to point out